How's it going there, everyone? I just got done with doing my Spartan race, the Super Spartan down in Utah. I finished a few hours ago, and so now I'm relieving some post-Spartan race depression. And some of you may be wondering, why do I do these races if I suffer from this loneliness and depression, especially when I've just seen a lot of people out there with their friends and their families? Well, I gotta admit, these races are definitely a lot of fun. And plus, being that I'm competitive, it gives me a good idea of how my fitness is doing, and it gives me something to gauge my fitness on. And so, with that being said, I figure too, the chances of me perhaps finding my group of friends doing these races, although it's a long shot, if I keep plugging away, something might turn around. And so, now, I'm gonna relieve some anger and post-Spartan race depression on my bicycle at 75 to 85 kilometers an hour, because I've got some anger to express about our mental health care system. And I'm gonna do it my favorite way, which is while going fast. Normally I like to go really fast when I'm skiing, but since there's no snow here, I've got to do it on my bike. And yep, 75 to 85 kilometers an hour, I'm gonna be expressing some anger on our good old, not so good, mental health care system. Oh, by the way, I'm near Snow Basin, Utah, and I'm going to put a link in the description down below because it's a video of probably the most uplifting experience of my life. So I thought I'd just mention that because I mentioned how there's no snow here. Well, yeah, Snow Basin or near Snow Basin, and of course, what do you know? No snow. So I've got to resort to the road bike to get myself some speed. Time to relieve some post-Spartan race depression, but more importantly, maybe if the healthcare system did a better job on more of its patients, then we wouldn't be having to hear about videos like people from me suffering from such depression after doing a race. So time to express that anger, but first via some speed. It is just a little warm-up descent before I may head on to the main one. Speed was 44.8 and I was only coasting. So probably about 70, 72 kilometers an hour. But before I gotta adjust my brakes a little bit, one of them's not working properly. The gradient is average 6.1%. Although the sign says 8%, but it's actually 6.1% because I did this last night as my warm-up for today's race. And so I'm doing the exact same ride I did last night. Yeah, it says 8% grade. The steeper parts are 8%, but not the whole thing. If only that were true, if only it were 8% sustained for 4 miles, but it isn't. 3.71 at 6.1. And keep in mind, this is after having done my Super Spartan race earlier today, finishing almost in the top quarter of all participants, which I think is pretty dang good considering having to overcome my biggest hurdle, which is depression. right around 84 kilometers an hour, 52.5 miles an hour was my top speed, but I was sustaining over 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour for a good large stretch. I was actually starting to get a rush, and now I feel that much better. The depression has lessened, but now it's time for me to blog about our somewhat, it is a pathetic system that we got for mental health care. It is pathetic. Some of you, maybe therapy and or medication has helped you out. I'm not saying it hasn't helped anyone out, but for a large number of us, especially with more severe cases of mental illness, our mental health care system can definitely improve a lot more. And part of the problem is a generic program is not going to work for everyone. They need to be doing more individual case studies and research. Hell, I would even volunteer for a case study, because therapy and or medication has to be tailored to the individual. And I personally believe that therapy, exercise, and a peer mentor friendship program will do wonders for some of us out there. A lot more than your typical once a week, if that, 50-minute therapy session, and then trying a bunch of different drugs to try to find out if any of them work. And with me, I've tried 3 different medications, including an experimental one. No luck. I've had probably over 5 years of therapy. No luck. Yet, I feel so much better after I talk to someone who I feel could potentially be a friend, but it never just panned out. But I feel that much better just talking to a person than to some therapist, because I honestly think a lot of people out there become psychologists and counselors just for the money. That's right, they just do it for the money. They don't care about the patient. We can easily fall through the cracks, and to them, to those people out there in the mental health care system, we're just another patient. In case you didn't hear that, we're just another patient. So, with that being said, our mental health care system overall sucks. And I know some of you will disagree with me, but that's the fact. If it were better than what it was, there would be a lot less suicides, mental illness would be a lot less, and we would overall be more happy as a society. So with that being said, to summarize my opinion on what the mental health care system needs to do is more individualized case studies, quit using these damn generic treatment programs to treat everyone, and consider including a therapy, exercise, and peer mentor friendship program in combination. That's my advice. Now I'm going to just finish off this ride up this 3.5 mile climb, followed by that first little descent you saw me do, and that's going to wrap up my day. And tomorrow it'll be a whole new set of adventures, and I'll do my best to get video of it. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for putting up with my venting and my anger. I appreciate you guys' support. Peace out.